Hello YouTube, 2xKO has been out for a few days now. I've been grinding the game. A lot of people have been talking about if it's too hard, so I just want to talk about that as well as my initial impressions, and then I got a code to give away, which stick around for the end, I'll tell you how to do that. Let's talk about, is the game too hard? A lot of people have been saying, you know, I called this game was going to be too hard from the start, stuff like that. You know, Sage, I'm saying for people who are kind of bouncing off because they're losing, just know that we've all been through that. Justin Wong saying, I'm excited to help people if they want, but I kind of knew this game would be too hard. This Scooch is a popular streamer for League. He says, you know, after going on a 24-game lose streak, this game's not for me. Coney, someone who's played a lot of fighting games, he's really good at Smash. He played a lot of Street Fighter, played some Tekken. He says, you know, as someone who thinks that they pick up games pretty fast, I'm so lost in this. And then Scooch says, yeah, what do you mean? You can call an assist, wait around for a bit. So yeah, there's depth to the game, and like anyone who has played a tag fighter probably told you this. Anyone who says, oh, there's auto combos or no motion inputs, this is brain dead. They have no idea what they're talking about, and they're probably bad at the fighting games they played, because that's never the hard part of a fighting game. It's never the hard part to like do a motion input and a basic combo, right? Those are things you learn just by kind of like messing around. The hard part is like the hard system mechanics and like actually playing neutral well and using all your resources. Those are always the harder things to like master, and that's definitely the case in 2xKO. Now, to talk about this, where Scooch says, these are like advanced mechanics. So the big problem with the alpha that I think a lot of people aren't talking about is that there's no skill-based matchmaking, there's no ranked, right? So if I was to hop into a game of League, I downloaded League for the first time today, and I'm getting matched against like Platinum and Diamond players, which aren't even like the craziest high skill level. They would roll me over, right? And then I could make a tweet that says, what do you mean I have to track the enemy jungler and I have to flash E on Camille to even get to the AD carry? Like, no, you don't have to do any of that. You're just playing better players who are doing that to you, right? I think not having skill-based matchmaking is a big deal, right? So Ahri has like some crazier combos. You want to call your assist in general to cover your block, but these are things that you learn down the line, right? If you want to play Ahri right now, you can just do light, medium, heavy, launcher, medium, heavy, boom, super, whatever, right? This combo I can teach anyone in 13 seconds. It doesn't do a shit ton of damage, but if you were to fight newer players, it would be more than okay, right? While you do combos like this, you can get used to moving around in a game that moves fast. You'd get more used to just calling your assist for fun to see what happens, right? You didn't need to use your assist in your combo. That should be more than okay, but the problem is there's no skill-based matchmaking. You're gonna go against people who have played team games a lot, who've played anime games a lot, and they're doing the craziest shit too, and you're like, what do you mean I have to do all that stuff? It's like, you shouldn't, right? You're 1 or 2 days into the genre. Even if you've played fighting games, you're like, it's like Coney said, anime and team games are a different beast than Street Fighter. They're like nothing the same. The first time I got into Guilty Gear, I was like hard stuck floor 7, and then a month later, I could hit Celestial with any character I want, right? Like, it's awkward at first, even though I played Street Fighter since Street Fighter 4 and 5, and I even played Marvel and Dragon Ball. And those games are close to Guilty Gear to an extent. Yeah, these games have a little bit of an awkward curve, but it shouldn't be a big deal if you're playing other people who are new. This game is actually pretty good at just pressing buttons and feeling good about it, especially if you take the auto combo fuse, which you don't have to. Again, you could just, you know, light, medium, heavy, launcher. Anyone can press 1, 2, 3, 4, jump, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And that's nice. So I do think that's a good thing, but I do think their marketing about this game being like easy to pick up for casuals is a little... They kind of fucking lied to us, let's be honest. I think even a game like Dragon Ball is a little easier. Like the different, like you kind of feel better about the combos you're doing very quickly in Dragon Ball, in my opinion, compared to like the light, medium, heavies in this game. But I don't know, that's for a different topic. I do think the game is hard if you're trying to get really good at it, but you shouldn't worry about it if it's like something new to you, right? So that's my big take on is the game too hard. It does have hard links, right? Like even just this basic Ahri combo where you do this move and then you dash at them. That's like kind of awkward to get used to. You do that dash even a little too slow and then you're gonna block it. Like this, boom. Yeah, so it blocks it because I did the dash too slow, I did the heavy too slow, and she has to loop this combo for some of her optimal stuff. Like motion inputs are never the hard part of combos. Whoever tried to tell you that's true is just trying to sound like they're good at something they're probably not very good at, in my opinion. So yeah, the game definitely has a high ceiling, but I think just because like the very base floor is easy, that doesn't make it an easy game to get into. I think the marketing was a little funny on that. But yeah, what about for me personally? Do I like the game? Right now, I would say I enjoy it for sure, but it's not like the most crazy addicting thing that I was kind of hoping for it to be, because I've been super hype about this game. Now I'm gonna play the shit out of it for this entire alpha, but there are things that just feel a little off, even just like movement in general. Like when I play Ahri and I'm playing this air dash character who's like supposed to be very free-flowing whatnot, I kind of miss Milia in Guilty Gear. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's not that Ahri doesn't move smooth and whatnot, but like sometimes things just feel off. Like her jump-ins kind of hit high, so they don't hit crouchers unless you do them very late. It's like that's not a big deal, you can get used to it, but it just feels awkward, you know what I mean? Like Whereas when I played Milia and Guilty Gear, I immediately felt like everything I did just felt nice, right? So as you saw there, this is the next thing that really tilts me, is that the hitboxes in this game do not match animations. I hate when games do this, and I don't understand why they do. I guess it's kind of like a Riot Classic. League does this all the time too. Maybe it's just like tradition at this point. You see how this move will never hit? Yeah, it's not supposed to, because this move is only supposed to hit people behind you. It's like a universal move when you press 2H in the air. It's like your cross-up button, right? So if you see here, you slow the game down, you see how Ahri's, the red is the hitbox. It's only behind her. So why are we animating this entire swipe in front and below and then even at the tail end? Why is all that animated the same way the hitbox is? It just looks stupid when you're in game trying to hit that move. Unless you go into training mode or someone tells you the exact purpose of the move, you're gonna do stuff like this and you're gonna say, why is my move just missing him? Like, I'm literally hitting him. No, boom. Okay, I mean, even these ones I'm doing a little high because it's on slow mo, but you get the point right here. Boom. And this isn't just Ahri's 2H, right? Even her 3H on the ground. Look at the hitbox. It ends around her ear, but she swipes all the way back and behind her. Look at this. Boom! The hitbox is like maybe half of the animation. When you do this in game and someone lands on your head and you got jumped in on, you would say, why the fuck did my anti-air, I mean, maybe that's not supposed to be your anti-air, but why does this move that looks like I'm covering my whole head from jump-ins not cover my head? Like, I never understand it. This just feels bad. It's not even like the biggest deal ever. Like, you go into training mode and learn it, and now you realize, okay, this is how I'm supposed to use my move. I should stop looking at the animation. But doesn't that already sound kind of stupid? Like, ignore the literal animation of the move and just think about it as a hitbox instead, because the animation is lying to you. Like, why is that a thing? Maybe this is an Ahri exclusive problem. The other character I play quite a bit is Darius, and he doesn't really have this, right? Like, he has, when he's swiping all the way, it's kind of matching the animation much better. Even him to a bit. It's like an inch off, right, to where his slice is going, but that's a little more like fine. But Ahri's is just straight up lying to you. I really don't like that, I'm not gonna lie. That's easy to fix. I mean, is it? Maybe they would have to either gig buff the hitbox, which might make the character too good, or change the animation, which might take a little bit of a time, but I don't know. Or maybe they don't care. Yeah, I really don't like that. I know Yasuo had a few things like that as well, whereas the hitbox is a little deceiving. When I was trying him out for a little bit of time, that's something I'm not a huge fan of. Besides that though, I do like this game overall. Like, I think it's very fun. There's some kind of awkwardness to like getting used to it though, you know what I mean? Like, again, I'm comparing it to Guilty Gear, which is a game I admittedly said I was really bad at first, but everything kind of made sense to me relatively quick about like how I approach in the air and whatnot. But in this game, like, some things just feel off. Again, maybe this is an Ahri problem because I'm kind of like anti-air with a move that does nothing after you hit it, or a move that is just lying to me. But then when I jump in on people, they just crouch and my move misses them, right? So like, there's this like awkward feeling of like, how do I even approach in the air with my air character that has like relatively low range normals? And I don't know. There's this awkwardness of getting used to it, but when you get going against someone who is around your skill level, again, this goes back to the skill-based matchmaking stuff. This game is so fun to just like try things out, right? Like, I'm just pressing a random block string. I don't know. I call my assist. Charge! I hope it hits. It doesn't hit. At least I get some blocks done. You know what? This is just team games in general. Like, I love Dragon Ball Fighters a lot. I played Marvel 3 a lot as a kid. I enjoyed it. So just being a team fighter, there's a lot of stuff to explore and just enjoy. The problem, I think, for this alpha is that there's no skill-based matchmaking. So like, it's like Justin Wong said in the tweet, I don't know if I talked about it, but he's saying like a lot of people don't like to block, or it's like one of the harder things to get used to in fighting games. And if you're just getting mixed all the time, that's not fun. And if there's no skill-based matchmaking, you're playing someone who's even played Dragon Ball Fighters before, and this is your first game, you are going to be having to block. I mean, you're probably going to be getting hit because you're not going to block, right? Like, who blocks in fighting games? And it's gonna feel bad, right? It's gonna feel really bad. You're not gonna be able to try out new things. But when you fight against people around your level, you get to try new things, you get to have fun with the game, you get to explore what it's like to use an assist and neutral, and you realize you call your assist and they kind of just chill out here and have a cigarette before they leave the stage for some reason, and they get hit, and then you realize, oh, I can't just call out assists for fun the way I might in a game like Dragon Ball. I have to actually go cover them if I use them in neutral, or I have to use them in my block strings, stuff like that. And I think that's good. Another problem, I think, is that the tutorial doesn't teach you that much. Again, it's only the alpha. I'm sure the main game will, but there's things like a universal DP, essentially a get up attack, and it's very useful for defense, but I don't think the tutorial went into it. I think the tutorial stopped like pretty easy after auto combos. I don't actually remember, but I remember someone else had to tell me about it. And then there's things like how to use the parry, and that there's a low parry and a high parry, and like, these are useful things, especially a character like Darius, who's like kind of the scrub killer. You need to know how to parry against him. You need to know how to push block him sometimes, and push block in general, but I feel like the tutorial doesn't really teach you how to do that stuff. And these are things that should be simple, and it would make people enjoy the game more, I think, but a lot of, because it's not like obvious, a lot of people just won't use them for a bit, and it's gonna make things feel worse. Like, why am I blocking for 20 minutes? It's like, well, you didn't use your one bar to push them away from you, right? There's that. The last thing I really don't like is that there's no option to do motion inputs. And again, I talked about how motion inputs aren't like the hardest thing, and people who say you need them, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm not trying to be a hypocrite here, but I don't see why there's not an option to do both, right? I played Grand Blue Fantasy Versus and Rising, and Rising lets you do, like, you have a special button like this, but if you would rather do this move as a quarter circle, you can. And like, maybe to a lot of people it doesn't make a big difference, but I also don't get why not just have the option to, like, literally in your control schemes, motion inputs on or off, right? So yeah, you can always just press special if you want, but what if I would rather just do this? And the reason for me that I'd rather do this is that, like, I don't want these two buttons. Like, I have these two buttons on my controller that at most I think I would rather use one, and then I could just have like a 6-button game where instead of S2 gear, I could put my dash macro somewhere here, and I can just use 6 buttons. Yeah, I'm feeling like there's these 2 extra buttons that, like, for me, I would rather just not have them, and it feels weirder to me to use them than just having the option to play like any other fighting game. Now, if you're brand new and you get used to only pressing S1, S2, that's fine. I don't think that should be penalized in any way, but I just don't understand why the option's not there. Like, again, like, I think Grand Blue does it right. You can literally just turn on and off motion inputs, and then I can free up these 2 buttons to use them for like another macro, or make my dash not super out of the way. And then if I want to do a fireball, I can just press medium, quarter circle forward, medium again, right? I could just press one button here with my right hand, and that would feel much better for me as someone who's played fighting games a lot more. So those are the 2 things I'm not a huge fan of in the game. A lot of the hitbox, hurtboxes feel a little janky, but that's kind of a big thing in a lot of fighting games as they come out. Hopefully that gets fixed up. I remember the first time I played Multiverses, you would like run behind someone and they would do like their smash attack and you would get hit by it even though you were behind them. And that's actually happened to me in this game. I think it was actually Yasuo. He's hitting my assist, not even facing me, so I run to cover it, and then like I got hit while he wasn't even facing me by something. I don't know if like my hurt box overlapped into him because I pressed the button, I don't know, but stuff like that, just like, it makes the game feel janky to me. So I'm not a big fan of it. It's hurt box, hitbox interactions in general. And then yeah, I do think the control scheme, a lot of people have been complaining about this, can use some work. Not even use some work, but just give options. Like, what if you can turn it off anyway, then why not at least give the option? That's just my opinion. Anyway, I'm done ranting. Overall, I think this game is great. I highly recommend you try it if you have the opportunity. I think it's gonna be a good game. Again, it's only an alpha. There's a lot of things to fix, and I think the team's doing a really good job. I'm excited to keep grinding it until the 18th, and I have one code to give away. The only thing I ask is that you like the video, subscribe, and comment down below. What team do you want to use if I give you the code? That's not going to bias my answer. I'm just curious what kind of characters are you using. Maybe if you say Darius, I'm joking. I use Darius myself. But yeah, and then follow me on Twitter as well. I'll leave my Twitter in the description because that's where I would DM you for the code. Appreciate you guys. Overall, love the game. Can't wait to grind more of it. Just hope these little few things get tweaked. Stay beautiful, my friends.